Hello fellow makeup lovers, how are you guys doing today? So I am pretty excited for this video because we're going to be talking about all the new indie makeup releases from the past 2 weeks and what I personally think about them, whether I'm buying them or not, and just getting to share a bunch of smaller, less talked about brands. So this video series is inspired by Ilia Beauty and Samantha March. I have both of their channels linked down below always, as well as the community Will I Buy It playlist, along with all the Instagram accounts I used to get the pictures for this video. So let's go ahead and just jump right on in. Alright, so the first thing I wanted to mention, and this is kind of an update because I talked about this 2 weeks ago. This is the MBA Cosmetics 420 palette, and I mentioned it just talking about how I didn't really think that it appealed to me that much, just based on like the promo pic and how I had been wanting to see something other than the promo picture to really gather what the palette was about. And now we have seen it. It was actually fully revealed the day after I filmed that video, but it's fine. We're going to talk about it now. So I do actually really love the color story of this. There's a little bit of cool tones, and then there's some really bright greens and yellows and grunginess, and it actually reminds me a lot of a palette that I did that was like a DIY, like my perfect grunge palette, and it was based on like the yellow and the green tones, and I feel like I was kind of ahead of the trend with that one. So seeing this, I was like, I definitely don't need it, even though it is beautiful. I did feel a little bit frustrated on launch that it was only available as a set, so if you wanted to buy it, you had to buy the liners, and then also it came with, I want to say, 2 different pipes, and I have literally no reason in my life for that, so it would have been a waste of money to buy the whole set when I wish they would have just done a set that was makeup only, because that's all I'm here for. So I did talk myself out of this based on it not being available individually, and based on knowing I have these shades. I don't need the palette, but I do really love the color story. I will say though that that green gel liner looks so beautiful. That is very tempting, but I have not picked it up because it hasn't been available. Alright, so next we have a new palette, and this is from Klarity Cosmetics. This is their Juicy Peach palette. And I actually kind of really love the way this looks in the swatches. I feel like the swatches look so beautiful, and it's kind of funny because when I talked about the sneak peek of this, I was like, you'd have to do something really incredible for me to want to buy a peach palette, because everybody has done peach, and I feel like the swatches of this make it look incredible. Like, I think they look really nice. I was kind of tempted to purchase this, but whenever I went on their website, this is available for $41, and they don't have any promo codes working right now. I think they may have disabled all of them, and then their shipping was like $8, so it was like $50 for a peach palette. Like, I really shouldn't, so I didn't, and I talked myself out of it. I actually just tried their Blue Royal palette for the first time today, so I'll have a video coming up on that soon. I'm gonna reserve my thoughts for that video so you can hear it more in depth and like get all of my opinions, but I will say, based on my first impression, I don't know if I would be happy if I purchased this, so I'm glad I didn't. I'm glad it was a pass. And then next we have from Divina Cosmetics. I thought I'd mention these really quick. This is their new Candy Cakes collection, and it already launched. I did a full review video on it before it launched on launch day, so I'll leave that in the cards right here in case you want to check it out. These actually all sold out now at this point, but I thought I'd mention them really quickly in case you haven't seen them already. I was so excited about these. I talked about them in sneak peeks past and said that I would purchase them myself whenever they came out. Luckily, I was able to get it in PR early, which I'm super grateful for. And I think the collection is absolutely stunning, so I will definitely make sure to update on Indie Makeup Spotlight, which is my indie Instagram account for news updates, and maybe if you want my YouTube community tab for when these go back in stock. I don't think there's a restock date yet, but I'll try and keep you updated. I think they are beautiful, and some of the shades in here are really unique. But next we have some new eyeshadows, and this is a bundle from MBA Cosmetics. I believe it's now available. It might be called like Watercolor something. I'll have it in the description box or in the pinned comment. If the description box gets too long, that's where I end up putting all the products. So this is a pastel color story, and there's 5 pastel shades and then a white, a gray, and a black. And at this point, I'm like so over the white, the gray, and the black in pastel palettes. I feel like it has been done, and it just keeps happening, and it's like, is there nothing else you can put with some pastel colors? I know these are single shadows, so you could easily move them around, and the other shades look really beautiful. I would have preferred to not have the gray and the black and have it like a 6-pan palette or something, but yeah, it definitely is not on my radar. I feel like I have plenty of pastels, still more ones that I want to talk about that I haven't even talked about yet, so I'm not interested in that, even though I think it's kind of cute. And then next we have from Sugary Cosmetics their full reveal of their Sugary Scoops ice cream collection, and this is available now. This is super adorable. It's all ice cream inspired. There is an ice cream cone that is highlighters, and then there's an ice cream that is blushes. There's some lippies, some lashes, and then also a giant ice cream sundae. And that ice cream sundae seems to have some pastel eyeshadows in it. So I think this is all cute. It's very like whimsical and it's very cutesy, but I don't really feel the need to own any of these. I think the little ice cream cone is my favorite, but I don't need it. I don't need it. And then next we have a new sponge, and this is interesting. I thought I'd mention it as well. This is the Arm Cosmetics RX Myocardium sponge. It's available now, and it is $10 each, which I feel like is kind of high up there for a sponge. I believe they were donating 50% of the proceeds to the, I think, the CDC COVID-19 Foundation, so that's always nice to give back, but I personally just so much prefer my Paw Paw sponge. Like, I don't want to try anything else, and I feel like if I wanted to, I could just easily donate $5-10 to an organization without having to purchase something. So for me, this is a pass. I mean, it's something different. It definitely caught my attention, but not something I need. And then next from Glamlite, this is their new Glam Donut, and I had someone comment on an Indie Makeup Spotlight that it looks like the pillow you get when you have hemorrhoids, and I can't not see it now. It just makes me laugh. So this is like a foam donut, and I think the packaging is cool. I'm kind of here nor there with the packaging. I don't think I would buy it for it. Don't think I would not buy it because of it, but I'm really just interested to see what the inside looks like. I think this could be a really cute pastel palette. Like, that's their option, and I feel like they're an indie brand, but they have a little bit of a bigger market. I do think it would be cool for them to do some pretty pastels, so I'm just waiting it out for the full reveal. And then next we have some new lipsticks from We Makeup, and they released 12 new bullet lipsticks, and they're available now. And the print on the bullet is so cute. These are actually pictures from Angelica Nikis's Instagram story, and she has been telling me and Karen that we are sleeping on We Makeup. We need to try them, so they are definitely more on my radar after hearing her say that, and I think there's some pretty shades here. I'll definitely wait it out and hear what she has to say about them, because for some reason, I'm like super into nude lipsticks lately and buying nude lipsticks. Not that I really need more nude lipsticks, but it's just so fun finding the perfect color and the perfect formula. So I think these look beautiful, and I'm very intrigued. I think that they are an Italian indie brand, if I remember correctly. I think when I went on their website that they were Italian. So, all right, next we have one new single shadow from MBA Cosmetics, and this is the shade Dream Lagoon. It is very beautiful, and it's kind of like this iridescent, like light blue, almost periwinkle-esque color, but then it has like a teal base to it, but it's a little bit more sheer. Not sheer, but it just looks lighter. I don't know. It looks very, very beautiful. If you know me, if you've been on my channel for a minute, I love MBA Cosmetics. They're one of my favorite indie brands. They're a Canadian indie brand, and I just love their eyeshadows. But I don't want to make one order just for one shadow alone. So maybe this is something I'll see adding to an order in the future. But as for right now, I don't feel like I need to purchase it. All right, next we have a new launch from Lite's Laquer, and this is their new, I think it's called Your Nails But Better collection, and they look really, really beautiful. It's just all nude shades. There's 6 shades here. I just absolutely love the Lite's Laquer formula and the brush. I feel like it's so easy to do, and anytime I use a different eyeshadow polish, I cannot think about anything other than makeup. Anytime I use a different nail polish, I'm always like, oh, I wish that this had the same brush as the Kale or the Lite's Laquer polishes do. So I don't know, maybe I'll pick up some of these. I don't feel like I need all of them, but I kind of like that kind of caramelly shade that's 4 down. I really like that one. So maybe I'll grab 1 or 2. I'm not sure. I'm undecided at this moment. And then next we have a launch from Goss, and this is pretty exciting. He's actually an indie brand. I didn't realize that he's completely self-funded. So that's pretty cool to know now after seeing his launch video for this. And I don't know what it is about launch videos. I am such a sucker for human emotion. I'm like, if someone's crying, or like you can just, you know, he didn't cry. He didn't cry, but his face, he was just like so excited and so emotional, and it makes me so emotional. I feel like I like just like pull into what other people are feeling. So I was watching the launch video, I'm like, yes, yes, yes. Even though I don't watch all of his videos consistently or anything like I wouldn't even go as far to say that. Like, I watch a video maybe like once every few months, but I saw the launch video, I clicked right away, and I really, really like the idea of these because they're supposed to be super comfortable and flattering on the lips. So I think I might pick up, I think maybe like 2 lipsticks and 2 glosses possibly. I'm undecided. Maybe 2 lipstick and 1 gloss. I really am interested to try them. Like I said, I've been like obsessed with lipstick formulas lately, and I just thought that they looked really beautiful. I love a good glossy finish, and one of the lip glosses, Tulip, actually, he described as like the best super nude, and I'm like, yes, I'm here for it. I will say, like, I got this like weird emotional connection because there's a gloss called Chrysanthemum, and I don't know if I've ever mentioned this on my channel, but like I had the dream for years that if I had a girl, a daughter, I would name her Chrysanthemum. I love it so much. It's like my favorite name. I think Anthem would be the cutest nickname. Chrysanthemum was my favorite childhood book growing up, and I feel like it's all about like just being unique and being you. And I really doubt that I'll ever want to have any more children in the future, not to get too deep or anything, but I just like, oh, Chrysanthemum, I love that name so much. I'm so excited to see it on a product, even though it's so silly. It's like such a, like, it's just only meaningful to me probably, but it's like a brownie lip gloss, and I'm like, you don't need to buy it for the name. You don't need to buy it for the name. I really don't need it. I don't. So anyways, let me know if you would like to see my thoughts on these lipsticks and lip glosses. I'm not really interested in the lip liners just because I already have a ton of lip liners that I barely ever use ever. So give me your feedback, but I'm pretty sure either way I'm going to buy at least a lip gloss and a lipstick, maybe more, depending on how interested y'all are. I can do some type of video. And then next we have from Ilia Beauty, 2 different new products. So this is on top, it is their Daylight highlighting powder, and on bottom it is their Nightlite bronzing powder. And I just feel overall disappointed when I look at this picture. Ilia Beauty is a brand that I'm curious about, I'm interested in, but not enough to take the plunge yet. But looking at this, I'm like, both of these products, it looks like they were made with just medium skin tones in mind. And that's it. Like, there is no depth here, and there is no light shade either. You're smack dab in the middle. If you're a medium skin tone, one of these shades will probably work for you. But if you have tan, deep dark skin, like, this range is not for you. And if you are super fair, I just feel like looking at this as well, it's just maybe the lightest bronzer I could possibly make work if I went in really lightly. I feel like as a super fair person, it's a little bit easier to make things work because I can like kind of tone them down and make them look lighter. But if you have a super deep skin tone, like, there's no way you can take a medium powder and make it deeper than your skin by just using it itself. So there's no like flexibility there. So just looking at this, I'm like, very disappointed by the range. Okay, next we have a really cute release, and this is from Beauty Bakerie. They posted this. It says it is their Eyes Cream Paint Job Bakewear set. It's a 5-piece eye brush kit, and this is so cute. It's ridiculous. Oh my gosh. I actually really like the shape of the brushes that are in here. I think they look very nice, but the actual handles is so cute. My best friend, actually, she rarely watches my videos, so hopefully she doesn't see this one, but she bakes. She loves baking. It's like one of her passions. I love her food. I love eating her food. Even though I rarely see her, that's like the highlight of my life thus far is her food. And her red velvet cupcakes are to die for. So I really, really hope that this comes out in time for her birthday, because I feel like this would be the cutest birthday gift. So I am all about this set. I think it's very cute. Maybe it's one of those get one for me, get one for her moments. We'll see. All right, last but not least, we have 2 more like drama-y situations to mention, but I think they're both pretty important. So the first one is this new spicy sriracha palette from Peachy Queen. I saw this and I didn't talk about it 2 weeks ago because I was like, I swear they have released this already. I've seen it already. I'm like, it's not new. Like, I saw the packaging and I was just like, like that must be like a re-release. They're talking about something they already had. That's why people are talking about it, kind of thing. I saw people mentioning it, and in the back of my head I was like, I've seen this before. I actually had someone comment on an old picture from Indie Makeup Spotlight and say, isn't this the same palette that Peachy Queen just came out with? Like, what's going on here? So I went back and looked, and it was just like an aha moment, because I was like, I knew I saw that before. I know I'm not crazy. So I'll post both on the screen now so you can see the difference. The one on the bottom is from, well, it used to be called newculturecosmetics.co, and they're completely gone. they're not even a brand anymore, so I have no idea about them. I'm not familiar with them whatsoever, but you can see that the packaging is literally the exact same to a T. All of the shade names are the exact same. The only thing difference is the bottom where it says by New Culture Cosmetics, and then the other one says by Peachy Queen. So I don't know if Peachy Queen is just doing wholesale and they're choosing random shades, or if they're doing shades themselves or what, but I just feel like it's one thing for a brand to like have a formula that other people have and like do a popular formula but do their own shades, their own packaging, their own ideas. I feel like, you know, there's kind of a difference when it comes to wholesale. There's like different levels, but I feel like when it gets to the point where it's just like copy and paste, it is so lazy. The shades are different, but everything like aesthetic wise is the exact same, and I'm just like really like ugh about it. Like I'm kind of just like, maybe I'm glad I haven't tried Peachy Queen yet, because they're a brand that I've been wanting to try for a while. But now I'm like, do they have more palettes that are the exact same somewhere else out there that other brands are selling? And I don't even know how to explain my feelings here. I just feel kind of like disappointed. So I'd love to hear your thoughts on that situation. So now let's talk about something from Tower28. And I want to give an update. I already mentioned this on my Instagram, but that was just like the beginning of the story. So I want to go more in depth and talk to y'all about this product from Tower28. This is their new Bronzino, and this is a cream bronzer type product. It looks very, very shimmery, and there's two shades, which, to be fair, the two shades do seem like they're quite different. When you go on their website, they have a very, very small amount of products that they're offering. They have a few glosses, they have 2 blushes, 2 bronzers, and then I think maybe 1 highlight, and I think that's it. It's a very, very small line right now, so I kind of have them in like a little bit of a grace period, because hopefully they'll expand as the brand itself expands. It's a very small brand despite being on Sephora, and I was really upset by this launch because I saw someone mention this, and I kind of did a little bit of like finagling with the picture, but I'll show you the original picture here, which is the 2 swatches, and you can see there is someone with a deeper skin tone and someone with a lighter skin tone, and they both have the swatches of the bronzers on their skin. And like at first it's like, oh, that's fine and dandy. Like if you're not looking for it, I don't think you even see it. But if you turn the arm around, which I'll post now, the shape of both arms is the exact same. They have a birthmark in the exact same spot, and the feathering around the bronzer on the deeper skin tone is very obviously edited. Like edited on, not just like, oh, we're cleaning up some lines. Like you can tell that was obviously a white person's arm that was edited to look like it belonged to a person of color, and then the swatches were thrown on. And I just feel like that's so disgusting. Like it's just, for one, I just feel like morally it's just wrong to edit someone's skin tone like that. I'm against that to begin with. And then just the actual fact of it being so unhelpful, like that's a complete lie. It's completely deceitful to any person of color who's looking at those swatches and thinking, oh, that's maybe how it'll look for me. Like, no, it won't. That's all a lie. It's all edited. So I was really upset about it. I posted it on my Instagram and just said, this is very interesting. I posted like a little edited thing. I got a lot of responses of people who were really thrown off by it too, very upset about it. So I kind of sat on my feelings for a few days, and I planned on talking about it in this video. And I was just like, you know what? I'm just going to tell them how I feel. And I'm not the person who ever writes emails ever. Like, that's just not me. I'm not like, this is why I'm so upset. But I was just genuinely really upset by it. And I tried to be respectful. It was definitely a strongly worded email. And I said, I feel like this is deceitful. It's disgusting. You're lying to customers. And I don't appreciate this at all. Like I said that I love small brands, but I cannot support this kind of thing. And I got a response back from the founder of Tower28. Her name's actually Amy too. And she basically just said, you know, thanks for reaching out. I don't really know what's going on here. We outsource our content because we're a small brand. I'll take the picture down from the website until we get more details, kind of thing. And so immediately I was like, if they outsource that to another company, and there's a company out there that people are paying for swatches from, and they're doing that, like that is just so wrong on so many levels, and it's reflecting so horribly on the brand. So I responded and said, you know, I've seen this on social media, people were upset, I was upset, and I sent back some pictures, and one was like the edited arm, so you could see how they're the same with the birthmark. And then I sent another one up close that kind of just pointed out the weird editing on the deeper skin tone, which obviously wasn't. She responded again and told me that she asked the retailers of Tower28 to also take down the photo. So if you go on Sephora now, the swatch photo is no longer there. And she just basically explained how they do a lot of outsourcing. They use a lot of freelancers because they are a very, very small brand of only 2 full-time employees, and then a bunch of on and off freelancers, which I thought was really interesting. I think it's kind of incredible for such a small brand to be in Sephora. And like I said about that swatch picture, I feel like if you weren't really looking for something to be wrong, you wouldn't have noticed it. I only noticed it because someone else had pointed out to me, so I felt like her response was very professional and very like action. Like you could see obviously from their website right away they took down the photos and they did ask their retailers, and I think they're actually looking into it and everything, which makes me feel better about speaking up because like I said, I was upset, and you know, I'm not the person to normally email a brand, but I think in this case it was very good to do. And then at the end she asked me if I was interested in seeing any of the shades in real life to let her know, because the swatches weren't helpful and they would send them to my address. And this was not as Amy Loves Makeup, this was just as a regular customer, it was just my normal name. So it wasn't anything to do with me being on YouTube, it was just, I'm pretty sure, her trying to help a customer out. But given the fact that I felt like my skin tone wasn't the one being affected by the deceitful swatches, I felt weird about accepting that. So I did decline the offer even though I appreciated it. I thought it was a nice gesture. I do feel like I got genuine feelings from the emails, even though it's just emails. So in the future, I do see myself trying Tower28. They're not on like a blacklist or anything, which I think if I had not reached out, I probably would have never purchased from them just because of that situation. But to know that someone else was doing that they were paying for and they didn't know, I think is really upsetting. I do hope they're able to handle the situation, and I just wanted to talk about it today because it is a new product and I did talk about it on Instagram, so I felt like there was so much to say. It was more than I could just update on Instagram stories, and I just wanted to kind of go more in depth. And I feel like it's kind of one of those moments where it's like if you see something wrong, say something, because I mean, I'm sure there's tons and tons of shady brands out here who don't care at all about morals, but you know, the worst thing that can happen is if you have constructive criticism and feedback is that they don't answer you. But I feel like this was the best case scenario here. Okay, so that's everything for today's video. I really hope you enjoyed it. I'm thinking back now, and I don't think I purchased anything that we talked about today, which is pretty good. I feel like I'm doing a little better. April was kind of crazy. It was a crazy moment. It was a birthday treat myself. It was a I'm stressed shopping moment, but I feel like I'm reining it back in a little bit. If you enjoy my content and you have not subscribed already, definitely make sure to hit that subscribe button before you go, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.